So we start with our prayers. Prayers for better japa. My dear Lord Chaitanya, my consciousness is thoroughly mundane. Although I mouth the names of the Lord, I am too unfortunate to experience their transcendental touchstone qualities. O Lord, I beg you to please appear as the holy name and dance on my tongue. This is some prayer which we should do to the Lord. I fall at your lotus feet and pray. If you like, you can keep me in this material world or place me in the spiritual sky wherever you desire. You are free to fulfill, but please let me taste the divine nectar of the Holy. This is from Harinam Chintamani. So here this devotee is praying that you keep me in the material world, keep me in the spiritual sky, but let me taste the divine nectar of the Holy. So basically, we all, many times we want to get out of this material world. I was listening to Srila Prabhupada's lecture this week, and Srila Prabhupada was saying that we talk about superior energy, inferior energy. He said there is nothing called inferior energy. Once you become a devotee of the Lord, everything is superior. He said there is nothing called material world also. Material world, Bhakti Jagat, this whole concept exists because of material consciousness. When a person becomes pure, he sees everything pure. He sees everyone pure. Now, currently, we see this person is good, that person is bad. But once person is pure, he just sees Krishna in everybody's heart. There is a soul and a super soul. Krishna is there in everybody's heart. So basically, what has happened is currently we are classifying friend, enemy, good, bad. But actually, everybody is good. Everybody is from the spiritual. So that's what he is praying here. Then he goes further and says that you have descended amongst the conditioned souls to distribute the holy name. So kindly consider me an insignificant jiva to be recipient of your mercy. I am a fallen soul and you are savior of the fallen. Let this be our eternal relationship. O Savior, on the strength of this relationship, I am begging the nectar of the holy name. So all of them, if you see, whenever they pray for nectar of the holy. Basically, holy name is nectarian, and we are not experiencing. So further he goes and he says, "Oh, so this let me set aside some time to peacefully remember Krishna's." So important, peacefully remembering Krishna's name. Most of the time, we are remembering Krishna's name in a disturbed way. And if you realize one thing, that uh, most of the times, whenever we start chanting, our mind comes up with the agenda. It comes up with the agenda that आज का agenda ही है. And suddenly that agenda disturbs us so much. Suddenly that agenda creates an emergency situation. कि ये chanting से भी ये agenda ज्यादा important है. और ये मुझे अभी के अभी प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व करना है. और ये नहीं किया तो this is how our mind. Therefore, this word I really like. One must set aside some time to peacefully remember Krishna's name. So whenever, firstly ना mind को peaceful करने chanting के पहले कि अभी you have to tell him कि अभी chanting कर रहे हैं, बाकी जो है हो जाएगा, manage हो जाएगा. So during these precious moments alone with the Lord, one should concentrate all his desire, thoughts and feelings on Krishna's divine names, forms, qualities, pastimes and associates. Attentive japa pleases the Lord and ultimately solves all the problems. Okay? Last but not the least, the essence of the Srimad Bhagavatam. So this line also I really like. Attentive japa pleases the Lord and ultimately solves all problems. Actually, our chanting is disturbed thinking about problems. And that is the solution to all problems. But वही हम लोग के पास life, we have problems in life, and what we are supposed to do is attentive japa. And because of those problems, we don't do that. So those problems are also not solved, and japa is also bad. So basically, attentive japa is the solution to all problems. And the last sloka of the Srimad Bhagavatam, Nam Sankirtanam Yasya Sarva Pap Pranashanam Pranama Dukkha Shamanas Tam Namani Harintam. I offer my respectful obeisances unto the Supreme Lord Hari. The congregational chanting of the holy name which destroys all the sinful reactions. And the offering of obeisances to whom relieves all material suffering. Actually, everybody wants to be relieved of material suffering. Everybody wants to destroy sinful reaction, but they don't realize that this is so easily possible by chanting. So now moving ahead with our Srila Prabhupada's book reading, but this time I actually selected a bhajan written by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada wrote few bhajans, and one of that bhajan is Krishna Tabe Punya Habe. So by this we understand mood of Srila Prabhupada. Actually, Srila Prabhupada was also capable of writing bhajans, but he always said you should write the bhajans, listen to bhajans of Narottam Das Thakur. But he himself wrote only two bhajans. Krishna tabe punya habe bhai, e punya karibe jabe Radha Rani khushi habe. Dhruva adi boli tomorta. I emphatically say to you, O brothers, you will obtain the good fortune. You will obtain the good fortune from the Supreme Lord Krishna only when Srimati Radharani is pleased with you. So we all in the first part of our session, we discussed that how we should be, that Krishna's holy name, chanting holy name destroys all sins. It is solution to all problems. Now Srila Prabhupada he says that you will obtain your good fortune from Supreme Lord Krishna only when Srimati Radharani. And we have to understand one thing, that of the 16 words of Mahamantra, 4 times we remember Krishna, 4 times we remember Krishna as Ram, and 8 times we are supposed to remember Srimati Radharani. So every Mahamantra, 8 times we are supposed to remember Krishna, and 8 times we are supposed to remember Radha. But sometimes we forget that Hare itself is Srimati Radharani's name. Shri Siddhanta Saraswati Sachi Sutta Priya. Translation: Shri Srimad Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, who is very dear to Lord Gauranga, the mother of Sachi, is unparalleled in his service to the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna. He is a great saintly spiritual master who bestows intense devotion to Krishna at different places throughout the world. So actually, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur never went to the different places throughout the world. But Srila Prabhupada, he has firm conviction that he is able to distribute the holy name throughout the world because of Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati. And therefore he writes here that Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, who is very dear to Lord Gauranga, the son of Mother Sachi, is unparalleled in his service to the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna. He is that great saintly spiritual master who bestows intense devotion to Krishna with this. So he says that he is the one who is bestowing. I am just. So whether you are initiated, non-initiated, आपका दीक्षा हुआ है नहीं हुआ, you should be always in one mood that all these things I am doing. If I am able to preach somebody, if I am able to get somebody to Krishna consciousness, if I am able to, even give Krishna consciousness to my children, to my friends, to my family, it is all because of Guru's mercy. Are we eligible to give Krishna to us? We don't have. By his strong desires, the holy name of Lord Gauranga will spread throughout all the countries of the Western world, in all the cities, towns, and villages of earth, and from all the oceans, seas, rivers, streams. Everyone will chant the holy names. So when this he says, पहले तो he starts with countries, then he says cities, then he says town, then he says villages. From all the oceans, seas, rivers, streams, everyone will chant. See, this is pure devotee. He he wants everybody to be devout. When we are going on the road and we see a dog, we firstly do like this. We see a cat, we say like this. But pure devotee, he says, from oceans, rivers, streams, everyone will chant. So he wants to liberate everybody. So, we should also try to develop such kind of a vision. Seeing Lord Krishna in everyone and anyone. Even if somebody is from other caste, somebody is from other religion, you have to understand that Krishna is there in the heart. As vast the mercy of Lord Mahaprabhu conquers all direction, the flood of transcendental ecstasy will certainly cover the land. When all the sinful, miserable living entities become happy, the Vaishnava's desire is then fulfilled. So, this is a pure devotee. He thinks when all sinful, miserable living entities become happy, Vaishnava's desire is fulfilled. We hear such prayers even in our Maharashtrian this thing. Pasayadan, he says, Duritan se te mera jao vishwasadhar ke sube. Joje vanshil te bola. Praying that everybody becomes happy. Although my Guru Maharaj ordered me to accomplish this mission, I am not worthy of him. I am very fallen and insignificant. Therefore, O Lord, I am begging at your mercy so that I can become worthy. For you are the wisest and most experienced of all. If you bestow your power by serving the spiritual master, one attains the spiritual truth and one's life becomes successful. If that service is obtained, then one becomes happy and gets your association by good touch. So everywhere he is using the word serving the spiritual master. Now, serving the spiritual master doesn't mean that we go there and wash his clothes. Serving the spiritual master means serving his instructions. Many people, when Radhanath Maharaj is here in the temple hall, they Maharaj look at me, they look at me. That all is fine. What Maharaj has spoken in the lectures is more important. What is important? He speaks. Many times devotees went to Radhanath Maharaj and said, Maharaj, any personal instruction? Maharaj said, whatever instructions are there, I give in my lecture. Listen to my lecture. Oh my dear Lord, because of my association with material desires one after another, I was gradually falling into a blind well full of snakes, following the general population. But your servant Narad Muni kindly accepted me as his disciple and instructed me how to achieve this transcendental position. Therefore, my first duty is to serve him. How could I leave his service? Prahlad Maharaj says this to Narsimha. Narsimha Dev is standing in front of him And he is saying that it is Narad Muni who saved me from falling into blind well of full snakes. Even if we see one snake, people are so scared. If you go to villages and they come, or if there is a snake there, then everybody, oh. And here they are saying, if you fall, I was fallen in a blind well of full snakes. But Narad Muni accepted me. So in front, standing in front of Narsingh Dev, Prahlad Maharaj is saying, how can I give up service to Narad, spiritual master? So, this is the kind of faithfulness one should develop towards our Guru and our Guru Parampara. What they want us to do. So many times you should think what they want me to do and what I am doing. Okay. Then he says, oh Lord Krishna, you are my eternal companion. Forgetting you, I suffered kicks of Maya birth. If today the chance to meet occurs again, then I'll be surely able to return. People keep on asking why we are getting these kicks of Maya. That is because of forgetting Krishna. Then he, Prabhupada reveals, something very intimate. He said, oh dear friend, in your company, I will experience great joy once again. In the early morning, I'll wander about the cowherd pastures and fields, running and frolicking in many forests of Raja. I'll roll on the ground in spiritual ecstasy. Oh, when will that day be mine? So, here, Srila Prabhupada is kind of hinting about his spiritual position, that he was kind of a cowherd boy. So he says, when will I wander on the pastures and fields and roll there? Today, that remembrance of you came to me in a very nice way. Because I have great longing, I have called you. I am your eternal servant. I desire your association so much. O Lord Krishna, except for you, there is no other means of success. What success के बारे में बोलते we talk about success. And here, Srila Prabhupada is saying that, O Lord Krishna, except for you, there is no other means of success. I have a great longing for you, so I called you. I am eternal servant. This whole prayer, you see how much there is laulyam or longing to be back, getting back in Lord Krishna's. And if you see here, Rupa Goswami also says that the only price for achieving Lord Krishna is love. That's laulyam. Intense desire, intense greed to be there, with Lord Krishna back again. So here also they are talking about the same thing that Srila Prabhupada is talking about. The next component of today is the Gauranga Bhajan, because this Gaur Purnima is coming up, and therefore we should get into mood. Exactly 1 week from now, 1 week and 2 days. 25 तारखेला next Monday. Next Monday is Gaur Purnima. So lectures will start from Sunday onwards, and Tuesday is Jagannath Mishra Festival. None of us, before coming to Krishna consciousness, knew about Lord Gauranga. We only knew Ranga Panchami. We only knew Holi. And none of us, we had an idea that this is the divine appearance day of Lord Gauranga. And this particular bhajan, which has been written by Narottam Das Thakur, is Gauranga Bolite Habe. Very nice bhajan. He says, Gauranga Bolite Habe Pulaka Sharira. Hari Hari Bolite Nayane Babeni. He said, when will that day come when my body will shiver as soon as I chant Gauranga's name and tears start rolling from my eyes. हम लोग बोलते हैं गौरंगा गौरंगा but tears don't fall because we are not thankful to Lord Chaitanya. Because pehle, previously, who used to become devout? Saintly people, people in the house of Brahmins, taking birth, who's for generations there have been devout. But because of Lord Chaitanya mercy, we are becoming devotees, staying in Dadar, Thane, Pare, Lalbagh. After some of us have eaten non-veg also. So, what is a chance? Matlab, previously, when such thing used to happen, where somebody is eating non-veg and he becomes a devotee, they used to call it a miracle. Oh, Ratnakar, who used to kill so many people, he became a devotee. Valyacha Valmiki झाला. And then that used to come in the Puranas and scriptures. Here we all are Ratnakars only. बरोबर आहे की नाही? So because of that, Lord Chaitanya, this has become a common phenomenon. This has become a common phenomenon that uh, any and every fallen person is able to, you know, chant. आर कबे निताय चंदेर करुणा होइबे संसार बासना मोर कबे तुच्छ. So now sometimes some sahajiyas, says that I want to see Vrindavan, this and that, which is coming in the next paragraph. So here he is talking about Ar kabe nitai chander karuna hobe. When will that day come when Lord Nityananda's mercy I will receive? What is the effect of that? Sansar basana more kabe tuchha. We are desirous of so many things. In this material world, we see something attractive, immediately our eyes go on that thing. Like खायला दिसलं, काही बघावंसं वाटतं. We see something and we feel like enjoying that thing also. We never see that thing as tuchha. Moment there is a news that some particular hero or heroine has come near our house. Uh, I don't want to take names, the current hero or current hero. We go and want to see, and then we take our mobiles, try to capture photo, then we put on our status that just saw this particular hero or heroine in our locality. But here they are saying Sansara Vasana Mor Tuchha. All these things, attractive things of this world, they appear tuchha. Then he says, विषय छाड़िया कबे शुद्ध होबे कब हमें हरिबो श्री वृंदावन. All of us are desirous to go to Vrindavan. But he says, we hear of Vrindavan, we hear of Kalpavruksha trees and Ratnas, but we go to Vrindavan, we don't see anything of that. Why we don't see? Because he says, Vishaya Chhadiya Kab. Only when the mind is completely purified and free of material anxieties and desires, we will be able to see. So material anxieties, we have so many anxieties. Our calculations will go wrong. Then he says, Rupa Raghunatha Pade Hoibe Akuti Kabe Hamo Udita. When shall I be eager to study the books left by the six Goswamis? When will I? Only then I'll learn the conjugal affairs of Radha Krishna. And then he says, Rupa Raghunatha Pade Raghumoras. Actually, if you read Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, this Rupa Raghunatha Pade, Sri Krishna is there at the end of every chapter Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. So, begging at the lotus feet of Rup and Raghuna and Sanatan Goswami, this I'm writing. So, whenever we are performing devotional service, we need to understand that every time that I am able to do this by the mercy of the Parampara, by mercy of all the Gurus. He was not only remembering his Guru, he was remembering all the Gurus. So, this mood we should always keep. So then I am doing some Srila Prabhupada reading, which is happening of an incident in London. Finally, Mukunda invited the reporters to come forward. If any of the gentlemen have any questions, you can ask them. Reporters, moving in, what do you have? Okay, so there was a huge reception done for Srila Prabhupada, and then the reporters asked, what do you think about this reception? So Srila Prabhupada says, I am not so fond of this reception. I want to know how you people give reception to this movement. This is my concern. How you are receiving this movement, not me. That is what I. Then devotees chant Hari Bo. Is there special welcome for you or this performance you go through each day? No, wherever I go, I get my disciples in Western countries. I have got now 20 countries, especially America. American boys are enthusiastic. And in Radha Krishna Yatra, Ratha Yatra, 10,000 boys and girls followed me for 7 miles. Devotee said, Hari Bo, what do you teach? The reporter asked. Srila Prabhupada said, I teach what you have forgotten. What you have forgotten. What is that? Srila Prabhupada said, that is God. Some of you are saying there is no God. Some of you are saying God is dead. Some of you are saying God is impersonal. This is all nonsense. I want to teach all the nonsense people that there is God. That is my mission. Understanding Srila Prabhupada's mission. Any nonsense can come to me. I shall prove that there is God. That is my Krishna consciousness movement. It is a challenge to the atheistic person. That is God. As we are sitting here face to face, you can see God face to face. Srila Prabhupada's conviction. You can see God face to face. If you are sincere, if you are serious, that is possible. Unfortunately, you are trying to forget God. Therefore, you are embracing so many miseries of life. So I'm simply preaching that you become Krishna conscious and become happy. Don't be swayed by this nonsense Maya. Actually, many devotees, they who were closer to death, and then once they realized they had cancer and all, they started reading Srila Prabhupada's books, and then they, were sharing that on the deathbed in the hospital when somebody was reading Srila Prabhupada's books, that is the time they started understanding what Srila Prabhupada is trying to say. So we have to be very regular in our book reading. I hope all of you are reading some. But I also I start my day. मैंने ना वो बाथरूम में ही बाथरूम में दरवाजे के पीछे ही शिला प्रभुपाद का वो ये लटका के रखा lectures. Moment I get up, 3:30, 4 o'clock, device. I just start that device. A Srila Prabhupada's it's there, and after I'll give you phone number also of the person. I'll put it on the group also, from whom you can buy this device. And that is just so fabulous. उसमें आपको सोचना ही नहीं, उसमें हजारों लेक्चर्स, हजारों. एक बार वो लगा के रखा ना, तो till the end of your life वो बजता रहे. So you have to listen to it, and then you just check. तो आज मैं ना मतलब 2-3 दिन से मैं पढ़ तो every day something strikes to me. और मॉर्निंग में क्या होता है ना, यू आर टेकिंग बाथ, यू आर ब्रशिंग, देयर इज नोबडी टू डिस्टर्ब यू. So I was listening this one verse where Srila Prabhupada is quoting from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Bahirmukha Jeev Bhogavaancha Nikatist Maya Taya Chpatiyad. The moment we desire anything other than Krishna, Maya is just waiting. Bahirmukha Jeev Bhogavaancha Kari. Moment we turn away from Krishna, तो जब तक हम कृष्ण को देख रहे, कृष्ण के बारे में सोच रहे, कृष्ण का नाम ले रहे, she doesn't do anything. Moment we turn away from Krishna and do Bhogavaancha Kari, we desire some enjoyment which is not Krishna conscious. Nikatastha Maya, she is already standing there. Chapatiya there, Chapatiya there. So what is the key in this? Key in this is Bhogavaancha Kari. The desire for Bhog, doing Bhog. Whatever we see, we want to take Bhog of that. पिज्जा के एडवर्टाइज से लेके anything, you want to see things, touch things, taste things, hear things. Then I was again listening one more thing, and that was today or yes, Srila Prabhupada was saying, once the wife is faithful to the husband, husband will take care of all her needs. I didn't think what is Srila Prabhupada trying to say. And then Srila Prabhupada said, so similarly, a devotee should remain faithful to Krishna. आपला प्रॉब्लेम असा होतो की we are not faithful to Krishna all the time. Sometimes we are faithful to Krishna, then sometimes we leave his instruction. Krishna has said do this, but we don't. Krishna has said don't do this, still. So therefore we have to follow this instruction and try to be faithful to Krishna always as much as possible. Faithful to Krishna means faithful to his instructions also. Okay. And then coming towards the end of actually reading through Srila Prabhupada's book, just as our matter of our habit. So this is so this is from the book Light of Bhagavad, text 6. On hearing the torrential rains, the frogs come out of the mountain cave. So ये मैं हर बार अलग अलग books every time I choose. So to make all of us aware, there are so many books written by Srila Prabhupada. And this is also one of the purpose of all these council meetings, that all of us come together, we read Srila Prabhupada. Otherwise, guarantee होता है नहीं होता है, लोग पढ़ते हैं नहीं पढ़ते. But here we come, we read about Srila Prabhupada. Again, recommit ourselves to this mission. That is the whole purpose of these meetings. On hearing the sound of torrential rains, the frogs come out of the mountain cave and begin to chant, like the brahmacharis who chant the Vedic hymns by the order of the spiritual master. In this age of godless civilization, sages of the world, recognized religious sects who believe in God, must come out of the secluded places. Now, how much Srila Prabhupada is pleading? He said कि बारिश होता है और फ्रॉग जैसा बाहर आता है. After rain, how frogs come out? We never think कि इसका मतलब क्या हो सकता है. Srila Prabhupada is saying, so people who are spiritual should come out of the secluded place and preach the science. There are two types of devotees, Bhashtanandi and Bhajnanandi. Bhajnanandi, you give them a feedback, they'll keep on chanting. Goshtanandis, they will chant their rounds, they will go out and tell others about Krishna. So we should always ask ourselves. After a few years in Krishna consciousness, now we go into a comfort zone. We stop preaching. Initial years when we are introduced to Krishna consciousness, जिसको भी मिला जारे देखे तारे को, मैत्रिणींना, मित्रांना, everybody, दोस्तों को, relatives को, तुम भी chant करो, तुम भी chant करो. बाद में then we meet people we don't. So every day before sleeping, at the end of every week, we should ask ourselves, this week, did I try to introduce Krishna consciousness to somebody? That will keep us alive. Otherwise, हम लोग सूख जाए. Bhakti Vinod Thakur says, preaching, those who are preaching are alive, others are dead. So he says that they should come out of the secularism, preach the science of God. And then he says, people in general, Hindus, Muslims, Christians, member of other sects, that have convincing faith in God must not ideally sit and watch the rapid growth of godless civilization. There is a supreme will of that, and no nation and society will live in peace without exceptions of the vital truth. The warning is already here. Responsible leaders of the religious sects must meet together, form a common platform of league of devotees. There is no need for self-realized souls to live in secluded place. Perfect realized souls engage in service of the Lord, unafraid of Maya, just like law-abiding citizens are never have fearful of police. Such fearful devotees of the Lord, such fearless devotees of the Lord, always speak scientifically about the existence, even at the risk of death. Srila Prabhupada actually lived by all of this. He was living in a secluded place in Vrindavan, but he left it and he went to New York. Even at the, he is not afraid of death. So Srila Prabhupada, he uh, even at the end of his life, he says, I want to go to London and preach. Such devotees of the Lord feel compassion for mass of people who have completely forgotten the Supreme Lord and who engage in the false pursuit of happiness that ends in sense pleasure enjoyed by hogs and dogs. एवढे सुंदर purport आहे. I think you have to go, once you go home, pick up this book, Light of Bhakti, start reading. That is one purpose. I every time choose a different book. Such nice words, and basically it makes an effect when all of us read it together. Okay, so we stop here. Thank you. I'll come back to the online devotees in some. Just stay online for a minute. I'll come.